Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a fantastic day. If you caught any of this of the afternoon dump, you're probably very, very green today. I personally didn't catch any of it. I got green and just watched from the sidelines today, especially when it comes to this time of year and this price action's been really like slow. I mean, obviously the dump today was not slow, but like just been it's very unfavorable. So I just stayed on the sidelines and kept and locked in my green day, but looking at this dump here, what I'm noticing so far is obviously that we had a daily FEG that we came down and tapped into here, right, on NQ. And now you see we're going, I mean, in less than 24 minutes, we come all the way back up. Not going to happen. This is going to be your daily inverse here. So obviously not a good sign. And I mean, with that dump today, like we had a lot of speed and displacement, right? Like there was no, like we were looking for some low, we were looking at London lows up in here, and I said if we keep on displacing through here, we see no reversal here, then we're just gonna keep on dumping. You see that's exactly what happened with the first target being the daily FEG, and then you see we had no respect for that. So what's that tell us? That tells us the price is drawing somewhere else, like somewhere else lower. So the first thing I'm noticing right here is obviously this is your daily order block, right? So a little reaction here off this daily order block. We're going to really get bearish. So I'm going to watch this going into this evening and into the morning. But this is going to be like the big spot right here is the CE of this order block. We can come down here and still get some kind of balance. But if we start displacing below the CE here, then we're probably going down to next target would be down here on the daily, fill in this volume imbalance, and then fill in this daily FEG. Remember, I mentioned it yesterday. Um, you have to remember, like whenever we're this high and we're this high and we're sitting in this weekly FEG here on NQ. And what else do you notice? We almost hit CE of it today, like very, very close. And so very algorithmic rejection there. But I mentioned, we could get any kind of rejection off there at any time. Reject there, maybe come down, fill in some of these daily FEGs, and then maybe go back up higher to all-time highs. Like boom, boom. I mean, we could get some kind of downturn here, 50%, and then back up, right? So just something we have to pay attention to. Another thing that we could be going for right now is maybe 50%. We'll draw it from this candle to here, so maybe like 16,534, and where does that put us? That puts us right into this daily FEG, this volume imbalance where the bodies are not touching. Would then be filled. We fill in, and we hit discount below the zero point 0.5 fib. You're 50%. Fill in this FEG, and then maybe back up higher. So if we keep displacing below this order block, then we're definitely going here. This is the next target. So 16,600 will be on the radar, but we have to displace through this order block right here first, because right now this is holding up price from going lower. So we'll go over this morning a little bit. Um, However, I'll be watching this hourly. So if we end up coming back up somehow and inversing this hourly, closing above here, then we're gonna go probably up and we're gonna break that weekly FEG and then keep on going higher. But another thing that could happen is we have to watch the 50% here, right? Like we have an hourly FEG that's not balanced up here that needs to be filled. We know how these downtrends and uptrends work. Like up 50%, 50%, down 50%. And kind of like whenever we're starting a sell model, we go 50% down, 50% down, then we slowly grind down to our final target. So this could be the start of a big sell model here because that's so much speed and displacement. So once we get back above the 16,912 level, if we even do, it's a spot where you can be looking for confirmation shorts. So if we have like a 5 minute or 15 minute FEG that takes us up here, and then we end up inversing it down, that's going to be your good short back down to at least these lows, right? So that's just how you can play it. But then if you don't get that confirmation short where we get a 5 or 15 minute inverse back down, and we end up inversing back up, you just flip bullish, and then you're at least bullish back up to today's highs. So and then if we look at that on the 15 as well, you notice this is inside that hourly FEG, and then like this 15 would be like a smaller time frame like target inside of there. So that way you're not just shorting this big hourly. So maybe we tap into this and then go back lower. So that's kind of what I'm watching. But like I said, if we inverse that hourly back up, then we're going obviously much higher. Really, that's about it. Um, that's really it for NQ. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch the hourly there and watch for that daily order block on ES. Pretty much said the same thing. Let's get rid of some of this chaos from today. So the big thing about ES did not slice through any daily FVG yet, right? But ES did just tap into this daily FVG. So this is what I'm going to be watching going into into this evening. You don't want to be short. You don't want to be shorting while we're stuck in this daily FVG unless you have like extreme or you know for sure where the market is drawing to. If it's lower, then sure short, but you just got to be careful shorting inside of this daily fair value gap, right? Let's see where our 50% mark is, just so we know. So you see, we can still fill in most of this daily FVG. Maybe we wick, touch bottom, and then go back up higher. Or if we slice through it, we know we're probably going to go down, fill in this daily FVG, and then maybe down to this one combined with this daily order block. So look for 47.15, I think, on ES. However, if NQ hits its daily, which was like in here, right? So around 16,500. Um, just make sure that you're paying attention to both, because once one hits it, we do not have to hit the other one. So really, that's about it. Coming into this morning, remember we had this huge we had not huge compared to this one, but we had this hourly FVG here, right? So like our key was to watch this. So I was like, oh, if we inverse this, we start pushing above here. Then obviously we'll take out today's, the highs up here, and then we'll push back. I mean, and then we'll see what happens here. If we keep displacing higher, then we're gonna keep on going up. Probably 1793, hit the exact CE of that weekly FVG, and then dump. But you see that didn't happen. Um, we just straight dumped. So we did take a long position in here. Let's see where it was. This was 5 o'clock this morning. So we had, let me find it here. So I believe, yes, this was it right here. So we had this 5-minute inverse here, right? And then we left perfect equal highs right here. So we took a long position right here. And, we could be, because this is like a textbook setup, right? Because you have order block sitting here. Once this up candle close over here, this is your order block. You see how all these candles respected it for quite some time, keeping us in the trade. And then obviously we ended up wicking down. I'll show you that here in a second. But you have an order block in your favor, you have a 5-minute inverse in your favor, and you have equal highs telling you the market wants to draw back up to them. So I mean, it's a very A plus setup, at least in my opinion. But the biggest thing was, if you go on to the 2-minute chart, there was some equal lows down at 26. These were 2-minute equal lows on here, so obviously 1-minute equal lows as well. And the biggest thing about that was 1726. So we came down, we took those equal lows, and then I showed you guys already, but um, I was like 1125. So yeah, right here. This was the bigger thing. If you drew your fib from here to here, look where we bounced from. We took out those equal lows right here, 1726. We hit, equilibrium or 50% of from here to here. We came back down, hit it, and then we pushed back up. And then the biggest thing here was, and then we know the trade worked, right? So we ended up taking profit here, and then we got stopped to break even on the big dump here. Um, the biggest thing to take away from that is like that's why you just always need to know, and like longs are always going to be much better when you're delivering from 50% from either shorts or longs. Then the biggest thing for me was usually when we take this 50% and we get that kind of reaction, we almost always go back to high of day, but we didn't, and this is why, because ES did, right? So right here, um, ES went down a little bit. This is where NQ went down 50%. ES didn't, NQ or ES took a brand new high of day, right? So we had new high of day here, and Q did not. Remember what I always say: we do not like just because yes, this why it's so important to watch both. Because if you were long here, you should have exited your position when ES took the highs, because then you have an SMT where one takes the high and one doesn't, and you can absolutely dump from there. And you can see that's exactly what happened going into today. So with that, really nothing else. Let's take a quick look at DXY. Um, Nothing really much here to look at on the daily. I do see this volume imbalance, so maybe we dump a little more, get us down to those 50% marks on the daily, and then DXY taps into this volume imbalance and then pushes back lower. That would be about, kind of good timing compared with ES and Q to maybe start pumping back up. But that's really about it. I did just see something here. Remember I mentioned yesterday on Tesla. You see where Tesla rejected today, right? This is a perfect example of liquidity, right? So you have this high right here inside this fair value gap. Remember I told you guys yesterday, you probably want to scale here at 259.60, and this is why. It goes just above, stops out any people that were short here and had their stop loss at this swing high. Goes above just enough to stop them out, and then plummets. And then the market goes and tax liquidity down to the lower side. So if you're long Tesla, I would want to see this 4 hour hold. What's important about this 4 hour? Here would be your 50%, maybe just below this, and then maybe it pushes back higher up to that 268 level up here is what I would be looking for on Tesla. So with that, hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.